In a world overwhelmed by noise, where everyone is clamoring to be heard, seen, and noticed, there's an almost forgotten power, a power rooted not in loudness or flamboyance, but in silence. Imagine this, walking into a room and without uttering a word, every eye is drawn to you. Not because you're the loudest, not because you're the flashiest, but because your presence speaks for itself. This is silent attraction. It's not about commanding attention through words, but through character. Today, we're diving deep into 12 socially attractive habits grounded in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism that will teach you how to be silently captivating. These are habits that, when mastered, will transform how others perceive you and how you carry yourself. But before we dive into these Stoic habits, I want you to pause for a moment and think. In this noisy world, have you ever felt like your voice gets lost, like you're overshadowed by those who are constantly vying for attention? If you have, then this message is for you. Today, you'll learn that you don't need to shout to be heard. Sometimes the loudest message is the one spoken without words. Let's unravel the secrets to becoming silently magnetic, without trying, without forcing, but through the effortless art of Stoic charm. 1. The power of presence. Presence is one of the most underrated aspects of attraction, yet it's one of the most powerful. Have you ever been around someone who, without saying much, made you feel like you were the most important person in the room? That's the power of presence. It's the ability to be fully engaged, fully in the moment, without distractions. The Stoics had a deep appreciation for presence, rooted in their philosophy of mindfulness and living in accordance with nature. When you are truly present in a conversation, you aren't just hearing the words someone is saying, you are engaging with them on a much deeper level. You're listening not just to respond, but to understand. You're giving them the gift of your undivided attention. And in a world where distractions are everywhere, that's a rare and valuable gift. Imagine yourself at a social gathering. Everyone is talking, but you're fully present with the person in front of you. You're making eye contact, nodding, and absorbing every word they say. That level of engagement is magnetic. People want to be around those who make them feel seen and heard. And when you cultivate this presence, you don't need to be the one dominating the conversation. Instead, people will naturally gravitate towards you because you make them feel valued. How do we develop this presence? It begins with mindfulness. The Stoics often taught the importance of focusing on what's within our control, and presence is exactly that. When you walk into a room, leave behind your worries about what happened yesterday or your anxieties about tomorrow. Be fully engaged in the now. Your mind, your body, and your attention should all be in the same place. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, wrote extensively about presence. He reminds us to confine yourself to the present. This idea of being rooted in the moment is what creates the power of presence. When you're with someone, be with them fully. When you're alone, be with yourself fully. It's a simple but profound practice, and it's one that sets the stage for silent attraction. 2. Authenticity over conformity. The second habit is authenticity. In our quest to be liked, it's easy to lose sight of who we really are. Society tells us to conform, to fit into certain molds, to present ourselves in ways that others expect. But the Stoics knew that the path to true inner peace, and in our case to silent attraction, is through authenticity. Authenticity is about being true to who you are, even when it feels easier to be someone else. It's about embracing your strengths, your weaknesses, your quirks, and your unique perspectives without shame. When you show up authentically, you attract people who resonate with your real self, not the persona you think they want to see. This is a powerful concept because it strips away the superficial layers of interaction and builds connections that are deep and meaningful. In the context of silent attraction, authenticity means not feeling the need to change yourself to fit in. It's about walking into a room and being comfortable with who you are without needing to prove anything to anyone. Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "Know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly." What he meant was that before you try to impress anyone else, you need to know and embrace your own identity. When you do that, your self-assurance becomes magnetic. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who try to fit in, or the ones who unapologetically stand out because they're true to themselves. Authenticity is the foundation of trust. When you're authentic, people know they can rely on you, that you're not putting up a facade. This kind of trustworthiness is incredibly attractive. Being authentic also means embracing your vulnerabilities. The Stoics taught that we should not be ashamed of our human imperfections. We all have weaknesses, and trying to hide them only makes us more self-conscious. Instead, when you accept your flaws, you demonstrate courage and self-acceptance, qualities that draw others towards you. Authenticity, at its core, is about living in alignment with your true self. When you do that, you become silently captivating because you radiate a sense of peace and confidence that can't be faked. 3. Calm confidence. Calm confidence is the third habit, and it's one that can transform how people perceive you. Confidence doesn't have to be loud. In fact, the most powerful form of confidence is often quiet and calm. Stoicism teaches us that true confidence comes from within, from knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to handle it. The Stoics believe that external events are out of our control. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. This philosophy is the essence of calm confidence. When you remain composed in the face of adversity, when you don't let the opinions or judgments of others affect you, you exude a quiet strength that others find incredibly attractive. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and things start to get heated. People are raising their voices, emotions are running high, and everyone is trying to get their point across. But there you are, calm, collected, and unshaken. You're not reacting impulsively or getting swept up in the chaos. Instead, you're thoughtfully considering your response, maintaining your composure. This calmness sets you apart because it shows that you're in control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In the same way, it's not the person who is outwardly confident, but the one who seeks validation from others, that is insecure. Calm confidence means that you don't need external approval to feel secure. You know your worth, and that self-assuredness allows you to navigate the world without being thrown off balance by criticism or praise. In social situations, calm confidence is magnetic because it makes people feel at ease around you. When you're not easily rattled, others will naturally gravitate toward you for support, guidance, or simply because they admire your inner strength. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't shout, it whispers, and yet it's powerful enough to fill a room. 4. Speak less, listen more. This brings us to the fourth habit: speak less, listen more. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, listening has become a lost art. But if you want to be silently attractive, mastering the art of listening is key. The Stoics placed a high value on silence, believing that listening was often more powerful than speaking. Epictetus famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about understanding the emotions, intentions, and meaning behind them. When you listen deeply, you make others feel understood and valued, and that's a rare and powerful form of attraction. Imagine having a conversation with someone who truly listens to you, not just nodding along, waiting for their turn to speak, but genuinely absorbing what you're saying. That person is fully present, giving you their undivided attention. Now, think about how rare that is in your daily interactions. Most people are too busy thinking about what they're going to say next to really listen. But when you become the person who listens deeply, you immediately stand out. You create connections that are more meaningful and profound, and you don't need to dominate the conversation to do so. The Stoics also believed that listening was a form of wisdom. When we speak, we're only repeating what we already know. But when we listen, we have the opportunity to learn something new. In social situations, this habit of speaking less and listening more allows you to learn more about the people around you, their needs, desires, and perspectives. And this knowledge makes you more socially adept and attractive because people are drawn to those who understand them. Listening also allows you to respond with greater intention. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, reflect, and then speak thoughtfully. This gives your words more weight and makes people pay closer attention when you do choose to speak. In a noisy world, the person who listens stands out. 5. Deliberate style. When we talk about style, many people think it's all about fashion, what's trendy, what's in season, and what will make the biggest splash. But Stoic philosophy teaches us to approach everything with intention, including how we present ourselves to the world. The 5th habit of silent attraction is cultivating a deliberate style, a style that reflects who you are at your core, rather than trying to impress others with extravagance or trends. Deliberate style is not about wearing the flashiest clothes or the most expensive brands. Instead, it's about choosing garments, accessories, and even hairstyles that resonate with your true self. Your external appearance should be a reflection of your inner values. When your style aligns with who you are, it communicates authenticity without the need for words. Think of someone like Steve Jobs. His signature look, black turtleneck, jeans, and sneakers, wasn't flashy, but it was deliberate. It reflected his minimalist, focused personality. By dressing in a way that was aligned with his values, Jobs didn't have to worry about keeping up with trends. His style became iconic because it was consistent with who he was. For you, deliberate style could mean simplicity, opting for classic, timeless pieces that reflect a calm and confident persona. Or it might mean adding subtle details that showcase your personality, a piece of jewelry with personal meaning, or a unique accessory that tells a story about you. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of living in accordance with your nature. When you apply this to your style, you naturally stand out because you're not trying to be someone else. A deliberate style doesn't have to scream for attention. In fact, the most attractive people often don't rely on their clothes to make an impression. Instead, their style is an extension of their character. It's about being thoughtful in how you present yourself, knowing that your appearance is often the first thing people notice. When your external presentation aligns with your internal values, you radiate authenticity, and that in itself is incredibly attractive. Moreover, deliberate style is about comfort. When you feel good in what you're wearing, you exude confidence. There's nothing more appealing than someone who is comfortable in their own skin and, by extension, in their clothes. You don't have to dress extravagantly to attract attention. You just have to dress in a way that feels true to who you are. That's the key to deliberate style and silent attraction. 6. Posture and body language. The 6th habit of silent attraction is mastering your posture and body language. Long before you speak, your body is already communicating on your behalf. Stoicism teaches us that our external expressions are often reflections of our internal state. When you carry yourself with dignity and self-respect, it shows, and people are drawn to that energy. Good posture is not just about standing up straight. It's about embodying a sense of self-worth. When you hold yourself with confidence, you signal to others that you respect yourself and that you're comfortable in your own skin. This, in turn, makes others feel more comfortable around you. Imagine walking into a room with your shoulders back, your head held high, and your movements deliberate and purposeful. You're not rushing or fidgeting. You're simply present, grounded, and composed. This kind of body language speaks louder than words. It tells the world that you are confident, calm, and in control. The Stoics placed a great deal of importance on composure. They believed that our external demeanor should reflect our internal state of calm and discipline. When you walk with purpose, when your body language is open and inviting, people will naturally gravitate towards you. They may not even know why, but they will sense that there is something different about you. Something strong and grounded. Let's talk about eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication. The Stoics believed in facing the world head-on, and making eye contact reflects that confidence. When you maintain eye contact, you're telling the other person that you're present, engaged, and unafraid. It's a subtle but powerful way to create connection and trust. On the flip side, closed body language, crossed arms, slouched shoulders, avoiding eye contact, signals insecurity or disinterest. If you want to attract others silently, your body language must be open and inviting. Practice standing tall, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and making eye contact during conversations. These small adjustments can make a significant difference in how others perceive you. Moreover, Stoic body language is also about patience and stillness. In a fast-paced world where everyone is constantly in motion, the person who can be still, who can remain composed even in chaos, stands out. When you're comfortable with stillness, you exude a quiet strength that others find calming and reassuring. 7. Practice emotional resilience. The seventh habit is emotional resilience, and it's at the core of Stoic philosophy. Life is unpredictable. People will challenge you, situations will test you, and emotions will arise that threaten to knock you off balance. But the Stoics teach us that while we cannot control external events, we can always control how we respond to them. Emotional resilience is the ability to remain calm, composed, and unshaken in the face of adversity. It's about maintaining your equilibrium even when the world around you is in chaos. In social situations, emotional resilience is incredibly attractive because it signals that you are in control of yourself, that no matter what happens, you have the inner strength to handle it. Think of a time when someone reacted impulsively to a difficult situation. Maybe they lost their temper, became defensive, or allowed their emotions to dictate their actions. Now think of someone who, despite facing the same situation, remained calm and composed. Which person would you find more attractive? Emotional resilience is a form of silent strength, and it's a quality that draws people in because it shows maturity and wisdom. The Stoics often remind us that our power lies in our ability to choose how we respond. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of remaining steady in the face of difficulty. He understood that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control our inner state. This calm confidence in the face of adversity is what makes you silently attractive. 7. Practice emotional resilience. The seventh habit is emotional resilience, and it's at the core of Stoic philosophy. Life is unpredictable. People will challenge you, situations will test you, and emotions will arise that threaten to knock you off balance. But the Stoics teach us that while we cannot control external events, we can always control how we respond to them. Emotional resilience is the ability to remain calm, composed, and unshaken in the face of adversity. It's about maintaining your equilibrium even when the world around you is in chaos. In social situations, emotional resilience is incredibly attractive because it signals that you are in control of yourself, that no matter what happens, you have the inner strength to handle it. Think of a time when someone reacted impulsively to a difficult situation. Maybe they lost their temper, became defensive, or allowed their emotions to dictate their actions. Now, think of someone who, despite facing the same situation, remained calm and composed. Which person would you find more attractive? Emotional resilience is a form of silent strength, and it's a quality that draws people in because it shows maturity and wisdom. The Stoics often remind us that our power lies in our ability to choose how we respond. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of remaining steady in the face of difficulty. He understood that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control our inner state. This calm confidence in the face of adversity is what makes you silently attractive. Emotional resilience also involves practicing patience. When you're emotionally resilient, you're not rushing to fix every problem or react to every criticism. Instead, you take a step back, assess the situation, and respond thoughtfully. This level of control is magnetic because it shows that you are not at the mercy of external events. Others will naturally be drawn to you because your calm demeanor brings a sense of stability and reassurance. Furthermore, emotional resilience is about self-forgiveness. The Stoics believe that we should be gentle with ourselves when we make mistakes. No one is perfect, and beating yourself up over errors or failures only weakens your emotional state. When you practice self-compassion and resilience, you demonstrate a level of self-awareness and maturity that others will respect and admire. 8. A touch of mystery. The habit is cultivating a touch of mystery. While authenticity is crucial, mystery plays a powerful role in attraction as well. It's not about being secretive or withholding information, but about allowing others to discover you slowly, layer by layer. There's something intriguing about someone who doesn't reveal everything at once. In a world where people often overshare, those who maintain an air of mystery stand out. Mystery invites curiosity. It makes people want to know more about you, to understand what's beneath the surface. This is the art of subtlety, a Stoic practice that encourages us to be mindful of what we share and when. In social situations, practice restraint. You don't need to tell your entire life story within the first few minutes of meeting someone. Allow the conversation to unfold naturally, revealing parts of yourself over time. This creates a sense of intrigue and makes people want to learn more about you. Mystery also involves being comfortable with silence. You don't need to fill every pause in the conversation with words. Sometimes, letting a moment of silence hang between sentences creates a sense of depth and thoughtfulness. The Stoics believed in the power of reflection, and this reflective nature often manifests in those who are comfortable with quiet moments. The key to cultivating mystery is balance. You want to be authentic, but you also want to maintain a sense of intrigue. Share enough to engage the other person, but leave something to be discovered. This approach mirrors the Stoic belief in moderation, everything in its right measure. When you strike this balance, you become silently captivating because people are naturally drawn to what they don't yet fully understand. 9. Kindness as strength. Kindness is often associated with softness or weakness, but in the world of Stoicism, kindness is a form of strength. The ninth habit of silent attraction is practicing kindness from a place of strength and integrity. When you are kind, not because you seek validation or approval, but because it's aligned with your values, you embody one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. The Stoics believed in living a virtuous life, and kindness was one of the highest virtues. But this kindness isn't about being a people pleaser or sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. It's about offering kindness without expecting anything in return, and doing so because it reflects your character. Think about the people in your life who have shown you genuine kindness. Often these people are the ones who make you feel seen, heard, and valued. Their kindness doesn't feel forced or transactional. It feels real. When you practice this form of kindness, you create a magnetic pull because people are naturally drawn to those who make them feel understood and cared for. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we should always strive to act in accordance with virtue, even when others don't. This means showing kindness and compassion, not because we expect it in return, but because it's who we are. When you can offer kindness without needing validation, you demonstrate a level of self-assurance and inner peace that others find irresistible. Moreover, kindness fosters trust. People are more likely to open up and be vulnerable with you when they feel that your kindness comes from a place of sincerity. This creates deeper connections and allows you to build relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. In a world where many interactions feel transactional, offering genuine kindness makes you stand out. 10. Self-mastery. Self-mastery is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. The idea is simple. You cannot control the external world, but you can always control yourself, your actions, your thoughts, and your reactions. This 10th habit of silent attraction revolves around the mastery of the self, which is one of the most powerful and attractive qualities a person can cultivate. Self-mastery isn't about perfection, it's about discipline. It's about having the ability to remain calm under pressure, to make choices that align with your values, and to refrain from impulsive actions. In social situations, people are naturally drawn to those who exhibit self-control and discipline because it signals reliability and strength. Imagine being in a situation where others are reacting emotionally. Maybe they're stressed, upset, or frustrated. The person who remains calm, composed, and centered amidst this chaos immediately stands out. They don't get caught up in the whirlwind of emotions, and this calmness is a reflection of their inner mastery. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasize that true power lies in mastering your responses, not in controlling others or external circumstances. For example, in a debate or a disagreement, it's easy to become defensive or to lash out in frustration. But someone who has practiced self-mastery will remain grounded, considering their words carefully and responding in a way that reflects their core values. This ability to rise above emotional reactions is both powerful and magnetic because it shows that you are not easily swayed by the external world. Instead, you operate from a place of internal stability and wisdom. Self-mastery also extends to your daily habits. Do you have control over your routines, your health, and your time? People are drawn to those who are disciplined because it signals a sense of responsibility and purpose. When you demonstrate that you can manage yourself, whether it's through your diet, your exercise routine, or your ability to stick to your goals, people respect you for it. You become someone who is reliable and consistent, which is a highly attractive trait. Another aspect of self-mastery is emotional regulation. We all experience emotions, but those who have mastered themselves don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They can feel anger, sadness, or frustration, but they choose how to express those feelings in a constructive way. This level of emotional intelligence is incredibly appealing because it shows that you have the ability to remain composed under any circumstance. The Stoics believe that self-mastery leads to true freedom. When you have control over yourself, you're no longer a slave to external forces, whether that's the opinions of others, societal pressures, or fleeting desires. This independence, this freedom from being controlled by external events, makes you quietly powerful. Others will sense this strength and naturally gravitate toward it. 11. Live with purpose. The 11th habit of silent attraction is living with purpose. In Stoic philosophy, living with purpose is essential to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Purpose gives you direction, it gives your life meaning, and it aligns your actions with your values. When you live with purpose, you naturally attract others because you radiate a sense of focus and clarity. Think about the people in your life who seem to know exactly where they're going. They don't drift through life aimlessly. They have goals, they have vision, and they are consistently working towards something greater than themselves. This sense of purpose is incredibly attractive because it shows that they are living with intention rather than being swept along by the currents of life. Marcus Aurelius frequently wrote about the importance of living in accordance with one's nature and fulfilling one's duty. He believed that every person has a role to play in the larger scheme of life, and when you live in alignment with that role, you find inner peace. When you live with purpose, you don't just react to life, you engage with it consciously, making decisions that align with your core beliefs. Living with purpose also means being decisive. People who know their purpose don't hesitate when making choices because they know what they're working towards. This decisiveness is attractive because it signals confidence and clarity. People want to be around those who know what they want and aren't afraid to pursue it. But living with purpose isn't just about career goals or personal ambitions. It's also about how you engage with the world on a daily basis. Are you living in a way that contributes positively to others? Do your actions reflect your values? The Stoics believe that purpose isn't something external that you chase. It's something internal that guides your everyday actions. When you live with purpose, people can sense that you are driven by something deeper. This doesn't mean you have to be loud about your ambitions or constantly talk about your goals. Living with purpose is about embodying your values in everything you do. It's about showing up consistently as someone who is aligned with their principles and working towards something meaningful. Living with purpose also fosters resilience. When you know what you're working towards, setbacks and obstacles don't derail you. Instead, they become opportunities for growth and learning. This resilience, this ability to stay focused on your purpose despite challenges, is magnetic. People are drawn to those who remain committed to their path, no matter what life throws at them. 12. Embrace silence. The final habit in our journey to becoming silently attractive is the practice of embracing silence. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, silence is often the most powerful statement you can make. The Stoics understood the value of silence, not just as the absence of words, but as a space for reflection, wisdom, and connection. Silence doesn't mean passivity or avoidance. It means choosing when to speak and when to listen, when to engage and when to observe. The Stoics believed that we should speak only when our words improve the silence. This principle is particularly powerful in social situations, where so often conversations are dominated by noise rather than meaning. When you embrace silence, you create space for others to be heard. You become the person who listens deeply, who doesn't feel the need to fill every gap with words. This kind of silence is magnetic because it invites connection on a deeper level. People are drawn to those who make them feel heard and understood, and silence plays a crucial role in that dynamic. In addition, silence allows you to project calm and confidence. The person who is comfortable with silence, who doesn't feel the need to constantly assert themselves, is often the person who commands the most respect. Silence can be a form of power because it demonstrates that you are in control, that you don't need to rely on words to make your presence felt. The Stoics often meditated on the concept of silence as a path to wisdom. When we are silent, we have the opportunity to reflect on our thoughts, to listen to our inner voice, and to connect with the present moment. In a social context, this reflective silence allows you to be more intentional with your words and actions, making everything you say or do carry more weight. Consider a situation where everyone around you is talking over each other, trying to make their point. Now imagine that you remain silent, observing, listening, and waiting until the right moment to speak. When you finally do say something, people will listen, not because you were the loudest, but because your words were well-timed and meaningful. This is the power of silence. Embracing silence also teaches you patience. You don't need to rush into conversations or force connections. By allowing moments of silence, you create an atmosphere of reflection and calm, which others will naturally gravitate toward. The ability to be comfortable with silence, both in social situations and in your own company, is a sign of deep inner confidence and wisdom.